Breaking news, a bombshell report is sending shockwaves through Washington tonight. Investigative journalist John Solomon has uncovered a scandal that should shake every American to the core. According to Solomon's latest investigation, congressional staffers, not law enforcement, not intelligence professionals, quietly seized and analyzed over 30 million lines of phone data. That's right, 30 million lines of private call logs traced to Trump allies, Republican senators, and private American citizens, all under the banner of so-called J6 committee. No warrants, no oversight, no accountability. This data wasn't gathered with warrants. It was pulled with raw political subpoenas outside of the courts, behind the closed doors, in the name of protecting democracy. And it gets worse. The phone records, including calls by sitting U.S. senators, weren't handed over to law enforcement. They were reportedly processed by political operatives like Adam Kinzinger and his technical advisor, Denver Riggleman, who then mapped out communications between the White House and everyday Americans. Their crime? Supporting the wrong candidate.
And they might have been able to succeed. This was an overthrow of government. This was an attempted overthrow, and a lot of people were in on it, and they got caught, and they got caught, and they got caught.
Make no mistake, this is no longer about Trump. It's about you and me. It's about every conservative who has ever texted, called, or stood up for their beliefs while a weaponized government quietly built dossiers behind closed doors. The very Congress that lectures America about democracy and the rule of law decided that those rules no longer applied to them. They used a subpoena power as a weapon, not to seek truth, but to spy on opponents. They built a dragnet to trace political relationships like a criminal enterprise. And they didn't stop there. Reports also show that the FBI later received portions of this database, a massive trove of call records now linked to infamous Jack Smith's political fishing expedition. Even sitting senators weren't spared. Republican lawmakers found their own communications swept up, their privacy tossed aside in the name of protecting democracy. Now, John Solomon deserves enormous credit for this investigation. While legacy media runs cover for the corruption, he followed the trail, the breadcrumbs that others refused to look or even touch. He uncovered that Washington hoped would stay buried. The proof that the congressional investigators turned their authority into a surveillance machine. Now, this is the exact kind of story that reminds us why free press matters. Not the corporate press that repeats talking points, but real journalism that risks backlash to expose the truth. The question now is very simple. How many more secrets like this are they still hiding under the rug? How deep does this abuse go? One thing is very clear. The same people who shouted the loudest about saving democracy were the ones dismantling it right in front of us. Its foundation, all behind the scenes. John Solomon pulled back the curtain, the veil. Now the American people need to make sure that this kind of shit never happens again.
I thought that it was a matter of real concern that planted stories intended to serve a national purpose abroad came home and were circulated here and believed here, because this would mean that the CIA could manipulate the news in the United States by channeling it through some foreign country. Now we're looking at that very carefully.
One basic truth can be used as a foundation for a mountain of lies. And if we dig down deep enough in the mountain of lies and bring out that truth to set it on top of the mountain of lies, the entire mountain of lies will crumble under the weight of that one truth. And there is nothing more devastating to a structure of lies than the revelation of the truth upon which the structure of lies was built, because the shock waves of the revelation of the truth reverberate and continue to reverberate throughout the earth for generations to follow, awakening even those people who had no desire to be awakened to the truth.